Hi everyone, and welcome to today's Travel Hospital Recap. As always, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of our videos or recaps. I'm not doing this a third time. And also count down to when ECAT shows up. It should be any minute now because I've started talking. She was asleep before, but I woke her up because I didn't know where she was and I got worried. But let's get right to it. So in jail, jail. Who do we know that's in jail? Oh, Dr. Finn. Hayden is visiting him. He's in jail. ECAT's here! And he's seemingly having some sort of panic attack type thing. Or, you know, he's sick. So the disease is quite literally killing him. ECAT, your fans, they want to see you. Show your beautiful face. Hello! I'm ECAT. I'm a lot happier than I let on, even though I'm the angry kitten. You don't know that about her. She was a very angry kitten when growing up, and she still continues to be angry, but loving. She's so cute. I have to do a video about her. Okay, this isn't today's General Hospital ECAT. I have a job here. I'm sorry. I got sidetracked. So he ran out of medicine, and she wants the guards to bring him his medicine, and he stops her because they're illegal. Figured it was something like that. Otherwise, why not tell people? So I was totally right not to brag, but a little bit of brag, a little bit. The foundation that got bankrupted because of Hayden's father was funding the medicine for the disease. Yeah, see, I'm good, ECAT. ECAT thought that was it too. So she asked if he has a dealer, and he's like, well, I have someone overseas who sends me stuff, and I have a package at the hospital, and she's like, is it addressed to you? He's like, yeah, and she goes to get it, and he's like, no, but she goes anyway. Like, what did you think was going to happen? Of course she's going to go get your medicine. She's kind of a good person when it comes to not Nicholas. So, Dr. Finn is in extremely bad shape, needless to say. At the hospital, Liz and Franco have a bit of an awkward encounter, and Nina overhears them talking about last night in, like, that kind of the way you talk about stuff you don't want to talk about, so it kind of sounds like they did more than they did. So Nina comes from around the corner. She thinks Franco and Elizabeth are together recreationally. That's the nicest way of putting it. So he says he got her a housewarming gift. Like, that was all. Oh, here's the tale. And there's nothing between them. And she wants an answer. And he wanted to give her an answer in person. That's why he didn't answer her text messages. Right, ECAT? Right. So it's always good to answer someone in person when it comes to important stuff. That's something she's learned in her little life of less than 2 years. So she asks, she's like, okay, but what if we did more than a friends with benefits type deal? And he pauses, and she takes that as an answer and thinks that he's already started something with Elizabeth. And so Elizabeth is off at the nurse's station, and Amy's gossiping a bit. Basically, when it comes to Franco, look but don't touch. And Nina says she could see it all over his face that he has feelings for Elizabeth, and he's had feelings for her, like, ever since probably the Nutcracker Gala. Like, and that he wants a child, just not Nina's, and he wants to be Jake's father. And then Nina goes a step further and says that, he hates Jason so much, Jake isn't enough, like, he needs Jake's mother. And I'm like, ooh, Nina is just, like, taking the knife and just psychoing, right, like that. So Nina's done. She says she's outgrown him. Amy tells Liz that Dr. Finn was arrested, but Amy believes in Dr. Finn and doesn't think he's a murderer, so I guess she's not all that bad. And Hayden finds the mail. She's sneaking around. Elizabeth is so close, and Hayden finds some scrubs. First, she contemplates pulling the fire alarm, but then she goes with the disguise idea. Although, when she disguises herself, she doesn't cover her face, which is kind of the whole point of a disguise. Anyway, in the park, Carly yells at Kiki. I apologize. And maybe she should consider that Morgan was making things maybe seem a little too certain. And maybe Kiki wasn't like gung-ho for, yay, let's try it again. And Kiki says it's a misunderstanding. Carly keeps yelling at her. I don't know why us Carlys are so unreasonable. And Carly tells her to make it clear. Does she want to be with Morgan or be there for him? So, and Kiki apparently would be the one breaking his heart. Please. 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 So, Kiki opens up about how she was after the shooting. She could barely leave her apartment. She was cutting people out. It actually affected her. And how Dylan helped her through it. And Carly says she gets it. But Kiki needs to be honest. And don't promise a future you don't plan on delivering on. Which I guess I can understand. Except this conversation between her and Morgan took place yesterday. And it's been a day. It's not like she's led him on for years, or I don't know, married him under false pretenses. Anyway, hair flip, right? in the Metro Court, Morgan is telling Dylan to leave Kiki alone. And I'm just like, okay, yeah, this is the fragile human being. Look, I got compassion for, I know he's just gone through more than people should go through, and he's figuring stuff out. I know he's having his own personal struggles, but now he's affecting other people's lives, and not in a positive way. So Dylan says that, Morgan doesn't speak for Kiki. And Morgan says he's a distraction. And Dylan's like, what? And, I'm just sitting here loving this. I'm just like, yes, go Dylan. So Dylan brings up Morgan's past since, being with Kiki's mother, behind her back, multiple times. And he says, he doesn't know what Kiki's been through. Dylan's the one who's been there for her. And he accuses Morgan of pressuring Kiki. And Dylan calls him on being insecure, and Morgan pushes him. Because that's what we do a day out of the clinic. We put ourselves in high-stress situations and push people. So Kiki gets in the middle. She doesn't see the push. And Morgan admits, well, he doesn't admit, he sees nothing wrong with what he did. That he told Dylan to back off so they can focus on them. And then Kiki takes Morgan's side. And she says to Dylan, I don't have time for you anymore. And me and Dylan are just sitting here. Well, no, Dylan's not here. Dylan's there. But we're just seeing this and, seeing it. Basically, Kiki and Morgan have stuck themselves in this abuse cycle. And neither of them realize it. And it's bad for both of them. Morgan's not at his best. It's been one day out of the clinic. Ever since he got back together with Kiki, he's gone downhill, and then Kiki has totally lost her personality and who she is. They've both totally stripped themselves of who they are. It's mind-bending. At Casa Corinthos, Sunny and Anna are reveling in their plan, but Sunny's having doubts about Alexis's safety, and Anna tells him to have faith and patience, or both. And he's like, you've been talking to Griffin, haven't you? And then Carly comes home. Anna leaves. She asks if there's anything to worry about. He says no. And then he picks up that something's worrying her. I wonder what. At Alexis's house, Julian wants proof that she's pregnant. And I'm like, you have some nerve, dude. How about you show me some proof that... I can't even. I'm just... so mad. Okay. So she calls him out. And, apparently she's the liar. Okay, yeah. She's a liar. And he wants to rebuild trust. And she tells him, then you start. You start. You're the one who got us all into this. So this is rich. Are you ready for this? If she's pregnant, it would give him incentive to keep her out of prison. I can't even express how I feel right now. Just let that sink in and have your own feelings about it, because it's just too much for words right now, or at least words that I'm comfortable saying on the internet. So Alexis takes the test. It's positive. Don't know how she pulled that one off, because I don't think she's actually pregnant, but whatever. So he says she's not going to prison, and they have a future. Okay, let's hear about this. So Julian who just yesterday, and yesterday is actually earlier in this conversation, said he wouldn't want her to stand trial if she's pregnant, is now changed his tune to jurors are sympathetic to pregnant women, so you won't spend any time in jail. Okay, but that still puts her through a trial and stress. I'm going to cough again. I'm so upset. So, what happened to her not standing trial? What, you realize you actually have to follow through? I can't. 1 second. I have to cough. So, her being pregnant is apparently a sign that they're still connected and always will be. And, he's totally, okay, so he's totally reverted to pre-Lucas coming out Julian, except this time it's not homophobia, it's misogyny, okay? And that end scene, woo. Yeah, it's been a woo kind of day. This episode, let me tell you, if I wasn't, knitting and patterning, I would have just been, flying off the walls. So Julian calls Ava back. Oh, he had called her earlier and said he might have something for her to take care of. Oh, so he needs her to do his dirty work? Okay. So, says he's going to be a father again. So, disregard the last message. Anna is in the house. She startles Alexis by accident. Alexis was taking a nap. I always love it when I wake up and a strange person is standing over me. Thank goodness that has never happened. I don't want to jinx myself. Okay, so, she says she didn't get a confession, and Anna tells her maybe you need to wear a wire. Like, we need to move this into a different location so he's not as suspicious. Well, Alexis kind of said that too. It was a mutual thing. Carly tells Sunny about Kiki and Dylan. They believe Morgan is more fragile than he is, in my personal opinion. Okay? I'm sorry, someone fragile doesn't confront Dylan Quartermain and push him. Kiki says, you know, it's the way it is. Not that it's what she wants. Morgan apologizes for speaking for her. He just thought he'd make it a little bit easier. And she says it's okay. And it needed to be dealt with. It's over. Morgan says Dylan got in his head and he wonders if he is bad for Kiki. And she says she wants to be with him. It's why she's here. She wouldn't be here if she didn't want to. But then they hug and she doesn't have to put that face on anymore. And she's so sad. And it makes me sad, to be quite honest with you. Because they both deserve better. And they did try the friendship thing and they were good as friends. It's when they hop over that hurdle that things get complicated. So Nina has perfected the dramatic elevator close. Very proud of her. And Liz comes to talk to Franco. Hayden's being sneaky. And then Elizabeth catches Hayden from the back. She doesn't see her face, because if she saw her face, she would clearly see her face, because even though Hayden has a mask, she doesn't have it on her face. What's the point of a disguise if you don't have your face covered? And Dr. Finn is trying to convince himself he's going to be fine, and then in the next shot, he's passed out on the floor. So, he's not going to be fine. Alright, thank you so much for watching today's General Hospital recap. I wonder what you're feeling. Were you as kind of like frustrated? Not frustrated. That's not annoyed. Not at the show. Just at some of the stuff that happened. If you know, how did you feel? I have to go respond to some comments, mostly about ECAT, who is still right over here. She's just, you know, hanging out with her sisters. Oh, just so you know, some people are asking about her. It's her, Misha, and Alana are all biological sisters from Anastasia, who was one of the cats that showed up down the barn at the sanctuary, and we thought was fixed, and not so much. Now she is, though. But yeah, if anyone was wondering about that, let me see if I can get Misha up here. Lured her here. Here's Misha. Yep, believe it or not, biological sisters. I know. She's like, I want to go back with my sisters. All right. Thank you so much for watching today's recap, and I will see you tomorrow on time for more General Hospital. And don't forget, you can vote for Character of the Week. We're getting to that end of the week type deal. So, I don't know. I think Hayden's kind of getting up there. What do you think? But yeah, I will see you tomorrow on time for more General Hospital. I hope you have a great day. Bye.